the ashes and I'm crossing the waters, breaking all the limits, then I'm pushing it harder, striking every match, light it up where it's dark. Now just ain't enough for me. All the stuff that we said has been wasted so many times.
Hi, and welcome to Run Tall with Tim. I'm Tim. Thanks for being here. I always appreciate the time that you and I get to spend together, so thanks for tuning in. And I hope wherever you are that you're happy, healthy, and staying safe. On today's video, I've got a really exciting one for you because it's a brand new running shoe by a company called Elevar. It's their Flybolt. The Elevar features some of the latest technology in running shoes, including an ETPU midsole foam. Now, if that sounds familiar to you, it's for good reason. That's the same midsole material that you'll find in the Adidas Boost lineup of shoes. It's lightweight, tons of energy return, well cushioned and fun to run in. But before I get into it too far, I always like to demonstrate what it looks like to run in the shoes I'm about to review for you. So let's do that. But then when we come back together, I'm going to take a real close look at the new Flybolt by Elevar to see if it's the right shoe for you.
Chasing the shadows, they were slipping right out of my hands, but I lingered. Now I know where I stand. Call it amazing. You wanna do right.
I do want to take a second just to get a disclosure out of the way. The Flybolt from Elevar was sent to me as a gift for the purpose of review. However, no one is paying me to make this video. No one from Elevar is telling me what to say, and no one gets to preview my thoughts before I share them with you first here on YouTube. Now, if at any point in time during this video you decide you want to purchase a pair for yourself, or maybe you want to just learn a little bit more about them, I'll put a link in the description below that'll take you right to their website. Now, these are a very affordable running shoe. They retail for right around $71 US or 5,490 Indian rupee. I did see on your website, I just checked it a few minutes ago, and they're on sale right now for 3,990 Indian rupee, which puts them at a cost of right around $62 US. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the Run Tall family. I'm really glad you're here and you found us on YouTube. Now, I post running shoe reviews, comparisons, and shoe battles weekly, but I also like to post other videos that are related to running as well. So if you enjoy watching running shoe reviews and other videos about running, be sure to subscribe to the channel and don't forget to click the notification bell so you'll be notified each time that I upload new content. I did order these true to size, and for me, that's a US men's size 9 in both the length as well as the width. Fit me great. They are a lightweight daily trainer. On my scales, they came in at 9.4 ounces or 268 grams. So let's start with the midsole, which is what I often call the engine of the shoe. Here they feature Rydefoam technology. Now, Rydefoam is an ETPU-based compound, so it's got a lot of spring or energy return to it. It's lightweight, and they have a moderate amount of it here. They have 32 millimeter stack height in the heel and 22 up in the forefoot for a 10 millimeter offset from the heel to the toe. So let's take a look at the geometry of that midsole. And here you can see that they feature a slight heel bevel. That's to give you a nice smooth transition as you roll through your gait cycle, especially if you're a heel striker. It is a much more traditional running shoe design, so you can see how flat it is, all the way from the heel up through to the forefoot of the shoe. So there's no real aggressive rocker design here. And as we flip it over, you can see that they have a fairly wide landing platform up here in the forefoot of the shoe. It does snug up here in the midsection, right around your arch area, and then it widens out a little bit more there in the heel. Overall, I found it to be a pretty stable ride. In terms of the amount of cushioning or the softness or plushness of the ride, I found these to fall more on the responsive side of things for me. Now, if you're a heel striker or a midfoot foot striker, because it has a lot more ride foam back in those areas, it is a pretty soft ride for you. But if you're a forefoot foot striker, I found this to be much more responsive. The ride felt much like the original Puma Velocity Nitro. When I was running in them, I got that same kind of a sense when I was striking the ground and moving through my gait cycle. So there is plenty of cushion there. I just wouldn't say that it's a max cushion or plus cushion shoe. So let's give it kind of that unofficial test to see just how soft that midsole material is. I'm going to start back towards the midfoot to the heel area because, as I mentioned, I felt like the most of the comfort or the cushion really lies back into the midfoot to the heel area. So using my thumbs, I'm just going to try to compress that midsole foam. And you can see as I do that, that it squishes down pretty good. So it does give you a nice softer feeling back in those areas. But now if I do the same thing with my thumbs up towards the forefoot, you can see that there's really not as much compression there, and it takes quite a bit more effort on my part to be able to compress that midsole foam. So let's flip these over and we'll take a look at the outsole. See how they're protecting all that Rydefoam that we just looked at. In here you can see that they have rubber all the way from the heel through to your toe off. So pretty much all of that Rydefoam is being protected. They do have some exposed areas, and I think that just helps to cut down on the weight just a little bit. Now the pattern on the outsole is very similar to what you're going to find on the Nike Pegasus 38. So you can see it also features a waffle style pattern. And I found that this does a good job keeping me tight to the road. I never felt like I was unsafe or not secure when I was out running, even under some wet running conditions. So let's take a look at the upper. Now here they feature their Aero knit material that is soft to the touch. It has a little bit of structure to it, but I found it to be very comfortable. I had plenty of room up in the toe box to be able to splay my toes, and I felt like the length was pretty much spot on for me. So in terms of overall fit and comfort, I give them some kudos for that because they did a really good job. And it was easy for me to be able to get locked in and secure across the midfoot section of the shoe. The Aero knit material does not have a lot of stretch to it, but I did find it to be comfortable, and that made it really easy for me when I cinched down the laces to get that midfoot locked in all the way back to my heel. And I didn't have any heel slippage either side to side or up or down. Now the upper has a pretty simple design, but it has a lot of plastic overlays, including all the way around in the toe box. You can see the plastic overlays here in the eyelet chain, and pretty much the entire heel is covered in plastic. Now that adds a lot of durability and structure to the shoe. So let's take a closer look at the eyelet chain. Now here you can see that they have this looped system here, so it's not necessarily a traditional eyelet chain, but it does a good job. They've got lots of plastic around those loops where it's sewed into the upper to give it plenty of durability, so you don't have to worry about those ripping out at all. And I did get locked in and secure pretty quickly and easily. I didn't have any bunching up in the toe box, so I think they did a pretty good job here in designing that lace enclosure system. Now the tongue is made of a microfiber material. It's not gusseted. It's fairly thin material. There's no additional padding on the tongue, but I never felt the laces cutting across the top of my midfoot at all, even when I was running with the runner's knot. They do feature some wider wings up there towards the top of the tongue that lay nice and flat across my foot. The only issue that I ever had is when I was first putting the shoes on, the tongue seemed to want to bunch up just a little bit, so it took a little more effort of mine just to make sure that it laid flat across my midfoot before cinching up the laces. But once I got the shoes laced and I was locked in, I didn't have the tongue migrating around or bunching up at all during a run. Let's take a look at the padding around the heel collar and the tab. Now here you can see that they have a pretty generous amount of padding here, and it's a real traditional style. It rests mainly up towards the top of the collar of the shoe, but it does extend down a bit, not quite to the footbed, but far enough to give you a lot of nice comfort. I didn't have any hot spots. It was really comfortable to run in, and all of that padding around the heel collar and the tab create a nice heel pocket for your heel to set in, so I felt pretty stable. They also feature an Achilles heel flare here. Now that felt really nice on my Achilles. And they don't have a pull tab to help you get your shoes on, but you can always use that Achilles heel flare to help you out should you wish to do so. So let's take a closer look at the heel counter. To do that, I'm going to put it up on my shoulder and just give it the pinch test, see how much structure that they have back here. And as I squeeze this together, they have plenty of resistance, so a lot of structure. Now that just helps to hold your heel in place to give you a little extra stability when you're out running. These also feature a removable insole. Now first, I'm just going to note that I like the color. I think it just adds a little bit to the aesthetics of the shoe. It looks really sharp. But I appreciate being able to remove an insole like this because it's nice to, when they get dirty, to be able to pull them out, wash them up, let them air dry, then put them back in just to keep your shoes clean. Also, it adds a little bit of comfort or plushness to your run experience. So it makes that just a little bit nicer. And if you need to replace it, maybe with one of your own for a more customized fit for you, maybe with an orthotic, it just makes it a little easier to do that. Overall, I think these are definitely worth the money that they're asking for. The ETPU Rydefoam that they feature in the midsole is some of the most advanced running shoe technology that's out there. It's lightweight, it's well cushioned, and gives you lots of energy return. I think these make a great choice for someone maybe looking for a pair of running shoes that can also double as a lifestyle shoe, because these look pretty terrific with a pair of khakis. Going forward, some of the things that I would like to see done maybe just a little bit differently is to have a more breathable upper. Now, while this Aeronet material is soft and very comfortable to wear, it's not very breathable. So I would like to have a little more airflow through here. I'd also like to see maybe a little less plastic overlays to bring some of that weight down. Now, this adds a lot of durability, so I think the shoe is going to go a lot of miles. But I'd like to see it stripped down a little bit, make them just a little bit lighter and maybe a little bit faster going into the future. Hey, thanks for making it to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it for you. As always, run tall, run strong, be kind to one another. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on Run Tall with Tim.
Chasing the shadow